The legal battle between celebrity blogger Perez Hilton and actress Blake Lively has captured widespread attention, bringing to light questions about the rights of journalists and the boundaries of privacy in the age of social media. Hilton, a high-profile figure in the world of celebrity reporting, has announced his intention to challenge a subpoena issued by Lively, arguing that his work should be shielded under protections afforded to journalists. At the heart of the dispute lies a long-standing tension between public interest and personal privacy. Blake Lively, known for her roles in blockbuster films and popular television series, seeks to compel Hilton to disclose certain information related to his reporting. Hilton, on the other hand, maintains that as a journalist, he has the right to keep his sources confidential, a principle that he asserts as fundamental to free press and investigative reporting. The case has sparked vigorous debate across both legal and social platforms. Many observers note that the outcome could set a significant precedent for how digital media figures are treated under traditional journalistic protections. While Hilton's website and social media channels have often been described as sensationalist, they nonetheless operate in the public domain, raising questions about where the line is drawn between commentary, gossip, and journalism. Legal experts point out that subpoenas targeting journalists are not unprecedented, but they remain highly controversial. The central issue is whether bloggers and online influencers, whose platforms differ from traditional newspapers and television networks, qualify for the same protections under the First Amendment. Hilton's defense hinges on this argument, emphasizing the role of his work in informing the public, even if the coverage is perceived as provocative or tabloid style. Blake Lively's legal team has expressed frustration with Hilton's stance, noting that the information she seeks is essential to her case and cannot be obtained through other means. The actress, who has largely maintained a private personal life despite her fame, argues that certain private communications were exploited without consent. The tension highlights an ongoing struggle for public figures who are simultaneously celebrated and scrutinized by the media and their audiences. Fans and followers of both Hilton and Lively have voiced strong opinions online, with heated discussions unfolding across social media platforms. Supporters of Hilton argue that protecting journalistic sources is crucial to maintaining accountability and transparency, while critics question whether celebrity bloggers should enjoy the same legal protections as established journalists. Meanwhile, Lively's supporters emphasize the need for boundaries that safeguard individual privacy. The case also raises broader questions about digital media ethics. Unlike traditional reporters, bloggers often operate independently and are not bound by institutional editorial guidelines. This freedom can facilitate rapid dissemination of news and commentary, but it can also blur the lines between factual reporting and personal opinion. Hilton's legal team insists that the core of their argument is not about the content itself, but the principle of safeguarding confidential sources and protecting journalistic integrity. Court observers note that the ruling could have implications beyond this individual dispute. Should Hilton prevail, other online media personalities might find increased legal leverage when resisting subpoenas. Conversely, if the court sides with Lively, it could embolden public figures to challenge bloggers and other digital commentators, potentially limiting free expression in the online space. The situation underscores the evolving nature of journalism in the digital era. Traditional newspapers and broadcast networks have long relied on legal protections to investigate and report on matters of public interest. Now, as social media platforms and personal blogs reach massive audiences, questions arise about how these protections extend to non-traditional forms of reporting. Hilton's case is poised to become a touchstone in this debate, bridging the gap between classic journalism and modern digital commentary. Hilton himself has framed the issue as a defense of journalistic principles. In statements to the press, he emphasized that journalists must be able to operate without fear of being compelled to disclose sources, lest investigative reporting and public accountability be undermined. He likened the subpoena to a threat against freedom of expression, noting that the distinction between traditional and new media should not dictate the applicability of legal protections. The legal teams involved are preparing for an extended courtroom battle, with complex arguments likely to unfold over several hearings. Evidence, legal precedent, and expert testimony will play critical roles in determining whether Hilton's assertion of journalistic privilege is upheld. Both sides have signaled readiness to vigorously present their perspectives, underscoring the significance of the case in the broader landscape of media law. Cultural commentators suggest that the dispute reflects society's shifting relationship with fame and privacy. In an era where public figures' lives are constantly documented, shared, and scrutinized, the boundaries of consent and reportage are increasingly tested. Hilton's situation illustrates the tension between a journalist's duty to inform and an individual's right to private communications, a balance that courts have historically struggled to maintain. The media coverage surrounding the case itself has become a spectacle, with entertainment outlets dissecting each development and fan communities engaging in debate. Social media platforms have amplified the discussion, allowing both supporters and critics to weigh in real time. This dynamic further complicates the situation, as public opinion may influence perceptions of fairness and justice, even outside the courtroom. Ultimately, the case is more than a personal dispute between Hilton and Lively. It encapsulates a broader conversation about the evolving responsibilities and rights of content creators, journalists, and public figures in the digital age. As the courtroom proceedings unfold, legal scholars and media analysts will be closely examining the implications, with attention to potential ramifications for future cases involving online reporting. While the outcome remains uncertain, one thing is clear: the clash between celebrity privacy and journalistic freedom is an enduring issue that continues to challenge societal norms. Hilton's defense may redefine how non-traditional media figures navigate legal threats, while Lively's position reinforces the importance of individual rights in a landscape dominated by digital exposure. Observers from around the world are watching closely, recognizing that the court's decision could resonate far beyond Hollywood. It may influence legislation, shape digital media ethics, and redefine expectations for both reporters and public figures. The balance between freedom of the press and personal privacy is delicate, and this case serves as a vivid illustration of the complexities inherent in that balance. As proceedings move forward, both Hilton and Lively maintain public visibility, using statements and interviews to clarify their positions. Their approach highlights the intertwining of media strategy with legal tactics, reflecting the reality that modern disputes often play out simultaneously in the courtroom and the court of public opinion. Regardless of the final verdict, the case has already succeeded in prompting a wider conversation about the responsibilities of bloggers, journalists, and influencers. It underscores the fact that in today's media ecosystem, the reach and impact of digital content are enormous, and legal protections must adapt to new realities.